he still has capacity of influencing this thing. So the court should make him stay aside until this case is done. And it must be part of the plea.
Okay, so even before the court,
yes.
Can the workers' union leaders go to court, say court and cancel Papa on while investigations? Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I say them yopo. Yeah, I know I'm not interested, but I am interested in anything accountability because of my upbringing, my political upbringing. Me and you be an NDC. I was born into NPP by default. Me kai the principles guiding way, and the principles of guiding way. Then I fell in love with probity and accountability. So then I decided, I'll go this way, because in a country where we account for nothing, obviously indiscipline takes over, and we are doomed, gone forever. So I decided to choose probity and accountability. Osha me WhatsApp Rollins Nedao, even after his death, and he will be there till I also grow and die, because a idea or dear Jame, same as actually probity and accountability. So let's come back to GBC with Professor Amin. African Games, whatever. What happened was that issues PA. No, almost issues no come Auditor General to do its investigations. While we are in investigations, report about Bonting. I think the report in the buy is almost a year now. And they can't do anything. So let's take Felix out. However, Felix and me and Kase oni ehwasim bia ekakra so enya dia public no ebetiase. All right, now let's come
say or step aside in his own interest.
So in reality, Professor, I mean, if say
reporting indicting the party,
yes, but sometimes when it comes to integrity, it seems a Oh, because in actual sense, if you have been indicted in this as a professor, and as a professor,
you write a letter to step aside.
Yeah, I said, "Wow, probably feel because something is wrong, something is not right." Yes,
you should be interested in that integrity.
And you know, he's a professor. We're young and case one who nyansa no set example. We say no. When you're there for foreign.
The Oka say indicting and outside of government operations say CSO4 say
where your government
no crown pobetimi and no crown posa ubetimi atwe ho na say government auditor general.
Yeah. So let's pick some few issues here and deal with it.
Yes.
Then information Abane say this man was invited by BNI about 4 weeks ago. That is the information we are getting. About 4 weeks ago, including former Sports Minister Yusuf. They asked him some few questions, no money bill. And one also then a response concerning the Auditor General report on ECHO. So there is some sort of engagement between the state security agencies and him. Jume Koso on the quiet. A binuma raise issue say until say you can't take him away from the place.
But he can influence process if he's still there.
Exactly.
So exactly. The can for entering a power and no can say I say assembly saba chon konchen. Omuni nenti omuka say say nipa no ontwe ne konchen no. Say anhia enhwemu nkra po nkra ta bi wo ho. Enhwemu nkra hu enso hu ni nyina no. Mienu miensa ene nan na ewo na ehu ba akopɛ no ono betimi afa ayeden e de ato nkyɛn
exactly
obi aye bi pɛn enti na say dikafo no gyina wo say efi ene ekɔ no si ehu ne ehu say paper no ba akopɛ ene enim na no fa wo ho a enu nti de twe ho san
Let me pick about 2-3 points. So give me the Auditor General's report. Then we can do something. Meka was me Honorable Akuganis in the house, and also a month for being in get me the comprehensive audits of the 13th African Games Accra 2023. So it's here. Kwame mo we de menya ni yepa. Kwame madinin shase because we need to have So Broadcasting and Production, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC, engagement of service providers without formal contracts. That is where it starts from. Inti, I can say, let's follow it well. Background, right? GBC was appointed as the host broadcaster for the 13th African Games pursuant to a formal agreement between the Ministry of Youth and Sports and Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Under this arrangement, GBC was responsible for providing and coordinating broadcast production services and related technical support for the games. The scope requires that all third-party engagements undertaken in the execution of this mandate be supported by clear contractual instruments consistent with public sector financial management, procurement, and accountability requirements. Okay. Findings. Auditor General, SA. Our review disclosed that GBC engaged the services of the following entities without explicit written contracts. Notwithstanding the financial commitments involved. So when you pick entity, the production room, TPR, training of GBC journalists, reporters, and crew. Under Professor Amin, they paid 57,000 euros to this entity, the production room. Meanwhile, GBC no ewo sa department ni bi wo ho. Okay. 2. Frontiers deal ni bi pe. 2. Silicon House Productions. Omo Jumane say rental of 2 out broadcast production vans. Can you imagine? The
GBC will be fitted.
Yes. I mean, Echo High B from Silicon House Production, 165,000 USD. Third entity, Brostem Company Limited. So, Omo provide satellite service. They paid them $65,000. So, in grand total, you are dealing with about 3.5 million Ghana cedis. That is 57,000 euros and 230,000 plus, USD. Now, Auditor General say no signed contracts, service agreement, or legally binding instruments were made available to the audit team.
Okay.
To evidence the terms, scope, deliverables, pricing, risk allocation, or dispute resolution mechanisms governing the above engagement. And this is the recommendation from the Auditor General. We recommend that Professor Amin Al-Hassan should be sanctioned in accordance with Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended. Okay. So let's move from PPA ratification and procurement irregularities. Let's move. Go to the next point. Quick one. Okay. So let's go to the way findings and recommendations and blah 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 blah. Okay. So it's okay. Okay. All right. So patch of bra from the started so that amount for benya. Fair idea of the whole bra. Okay, so I'll say the audit identified the following: ex post PPA approval, linkage between park proceedings, and those are issues also about the discussions on dealings also with GBC during those that games. Then we deal with the figures. Quick one. Okay, so inadequate justification for single source procurement. The request for PPA ratification relied predominantly on time constraints, so without sufficient supporting analysis and documentary justification to establish exclusivity, agency beyond foreseeable planning, technical uniqueness, or absence of reasonable alternatives. Now, absence of price reasonableness and benchmarking, and here this is where the problem is. There was no evidence of price reasonableness testing, market survey, or benchmarking conducted to ensure value for money prior to engaging the service providers. That is the above entities now boy. Okay, so procure services and financial exposure. The services procured under the above circumstances are summarized. Entity, PSG, and this is GBC contracts, which was worth 44 million Ghana cedis, and go through the procurement procedure, nothing. So PGS almost service na International Broadcast Center. I mean, etria omoka 2 million euros. Wow. Okay, so the production room, Asia Beshemu Habiu. Training of GBC journalists, reporters, and crew by the production. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Akwa Kenofurata.
Yeah.
Etimi Ekofa a South Africa company. Sir, Omombra Gigi a Sika GRA for no. Omombra yes, Jumano. Can you imagine? And you can see a boo now pay a booyah. Okay.
This GBC okay, any that payment,
Yeah.
I remember, say, Omuko 2 figure, no.
Yeah.
Omuba Albeka, so Omu Nyesike Biasa in free GBC, but now Auditor General's report.
Yes.
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 And it's embarrassing.
Yes.
Very, very embarrassing. And you see, the most important thing it saddens me. Obete na Enipakwe Dr. Asumesi Wakusku, Professor Asumesi Ena Edano. Ghana Telecom, there's a similar case.
I see.
I'm telling you, but more court, we
you
can't
say
much
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. It's sad. I see Bugana Kumu Efaso, and people see this and watch. It will be someone says, "School be brayer, choir, board doctorate, yeah, professor." It is supposed to turn things around, but the more people get education, now they are finding new ways of rather stealing.
I think you need to qualify it well. The more black man get educated, the more black man become a criminal.
Or person DCC.
Yeah, black man are more educated than no than criminal.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not done, please. The more black man educated, no. Now, Osuya Boni di more.
Exactly. I said the law is more open to him to see the loopholes and to use it. But there be so what say we na because some things are so obvious. How can you tell me, say, oh, baby, yeah, your friends, oh, baby, sign a deal, and yet, me cry be a me da ebushia anoa, me ye bibi ebushia de mokrano, me make sure say me receipt. Na me wafa say her receipt, no, and who said ye na ye eni. Oti ase, na juma nya odi anya mama de anya papa de. What do one hunu aka trobi say, mama contract koye, nothing to show your commitment and the people's commitment.
Okay, so he's a professor. What system no match? Only me say aban sisa the here working your way out to the top. Then you are good. You are okay.
No, but there are a lot of things that you can't work your way out.
But you have stayed there for 1.5 years.
It's because
he's enjoying salary.
GBC asem yeah me yane say. Emrano so protective. So protective say. Omampini kra ye ba fufuri ye friend administrators ne chief executives and idea no it is so protective. Say untumi enyi sa
untumi workers no they mention Honorable Felix Kwachi, and I'm like, because your president.
Yes.
Ampim. Okay, Ampim.
Thank you.
President Kufuor
classical example.
Yeah, yes. Free
yes.
He went to court.
Yes.
Won.
Yes. Reinstated.
Ghana had 10 million Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Yeah, about yes. So Jay and also buy no koye we su kikira. He will
another
go to court.
20 million.
He will go to court. So sometimes to.
So they, but you see, but with this one,
but yeah,
to me, a new arbitrarily, but the law will take care of you. Say, ode sa case we court and ade ba ko a me ya I sense ye me de in another way. Say, His Excellency Mahama. Akachere and say, Yeba be special court to deal with Auditor General's reports. Because the worst it will go, and they say, Yebeko Parliamentary Select Committee on this Auditor General's reports. Yebeshe no TV so, Yebeka, Yebeka, Aden, Yewia, one who nipa here, the Makoko General Court based on that.
No.
Until the only thing is say we shame them and all that, but that is not what the people of Ghana want. Okay, the people of Ghana want punishment after this revelation.
But in this situation, like this Professor Amin issue,
yes,
don't you think sir buying back to me a catch and say on Chino compare some by investigation every?
So I buy yes, I buy back to my catch or say
through the NMC.
Exactly. I buy back to me aye. That one is for me is appealing to him. He has a choice to say yes or no. But who did no ekojina quarter? One of the reliefs are and say the court must make sure. I said the investigation, no, the case, the investigator's case, and they say he still has capacity of influencing this thing. So the court should make him stay aside until this case is done. And it must be part of the plea. Okay, so even before the court, no,
yes. Can the workers' union leaders go to court, say court and cancel Papana on while investigations goes on?
They can give it a try. Your laws in Ghana, sometimes it can be funny. You must justify why. And there's justification, and they say, you hear evidence to support our case. This is the chief executive. He is the DG. How do we get information whilst he's still seated at the place? That is justification.
Yeah.
But let's try the law. Because I will not even advise the president at this level to write to him to step aside. It must come through the investigation. Say this person must step aside. Now you shed your no better because I will not allow my president to write that letter and later okase onye based on the protective laws that he has and all those things. Let's say or president annoy our firm, which I wouldn't want to do. We have a lot of bodies who can deal with these issues through the NMC to make sure say or better you or be partner.
All right, thanks. Let me finish this table. Then we move to the other ones. Dawson Sikano or Yene Basa no Dawson be brain. Okay, so the production room TPR almost trainee journalists no 57,000 euros. Almost €2, no more $2. I don't get it. I don't get it. So Quality Media Productions SL, almost production of broadcast feeds, Fido, you know, so $1 million, $1 million. Silicon House Productions, almost a PMO, I say, rental of 2 out broadcast production vans, $165,000 standard. First one, I say 165. Brostem Company Limited, satellite service, $65,000. So on the issue of creating a broadcast center and everything, you know, so no, say $1.230 million here and $2.113 million euros. Charlie, it no be small money. It no be small money. Okay, you share recommendation. You share recommendation from the Recommendation from the Auditor General. We recommend that Professor Amin Al-Hassan should be sanctioned in accordance with Section 92 of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended. Okay, so subject use of GBC staff in execution of PGS and QMP contracts without commensurate revenue to GBC. So in short, to cut it short, Okanse, with this issue, me redeem one or pay. Omo Alpha company. Okay, so let's go through this one, quick one. On 27th February 2024, GBC entered into a contract with PGS for the provision of the International Broadcast Center and technical production services for the games at the total cost of 2 million euros. Sankrofono omudi kai ba first table no so no. Yeah, almost say I'll go through no. So the contract explicitly stipulates that the service provider undertakes to provide the required personnel for the execution of the service, because I mean, maybe faster by mamia, which means you have your own people, blah blah blah. Now, similarly, on 22nd February 2024, GBC entered into a separate contract with Quality Media Productions at a contract sum of $1 million, under which Quality undertook to provide highly specialized technical personnel to operate all technical means involved in the production of the games as defined in the Annex 1 of the contract. So the mechanic previous. No? All right, so however, a review of the PGS contract assets and the GBC crew deployment schedules shows extensive deployment of GBC staff to perform both technical and editorial functions across venues during the games, notwithstanding the contractual obligation on PGS and QMP to provide their own personnel. Findings: the audit established the following. So let's do it. One, contradiction between contractual obligations and actual execution. So the PGS contract provides that the service provider shall supply the necessary editorial and technical crew, yet the venue allocation schedule shows significant numbers of GBC staff deployed in roles such as camera operators, shading operators, audio assistants, editors, producers, and directors across Ghana venues. So virtually, this kind of maomo, don't much but the GBC for a Jumano. You understand? Absence of revenue sharing or cost recovery arrangements, the use of GBC staff to execute third-party contracts, those are the findings. So let's come to the recommendation, quick one, then we move on. Auditor General will say, we recommend that future third-party contracts include clear revenue sharing and resource utilization clauses. Meanwhile, Professor Amin Al-Hassan, Director General GBC, should be held liable for the lapses. So then we have regular training contracts with the production room, the TPR, almost Jomsika. So mainly there was just like 3, 4, 5 entities being Amin Al-Hassan and one more able game. He give them the money and as to say if indeed say Onyane card there, which is not established in this report, so you can't tell. But then you see, people will speculate, say, why would you just like to pay this huge sum of monies to these entities? Meanwhile, now the GBC phone call and one juma. In the other in the one kipiskano and Obi can say this causing financial loss to the institution, to the entity, GBC. And there are serious issues breeding. Free as this report is so comprehensive. This is a Professor Amin Al-Hassan, a very noble man whom she knows where she penny and said no, my mention me no met me a professor met me. So you realize that we look at our benefits, our pockets more than doing the right thing. And I can say, here we are, GBC, battles are rising. So dirty, it doesn't make sense. And say them dika kind you see BNI focus him. BNI can decide say yeah, far report no command Attorney General and them. And I can't 1 year. It won't make you because I am madam for you mean a free go back.
Can say no. Yama ejuma friend is Kwame Kwachi ejuma.
Yeah.
There's a video on YouTube.
Yeah.
GBC a call your friend is saying friends, Parliament. Into type $3 million was paid to GBC for all African Games coverage. About YouTube video be. Me per se obo baby Sam George a question. A friend is in GBC.
Okay.
And it's about 5 to 10 minutes. That's portion. Ombo na yentie ancestor the maye when they refusing say omunjisi kebia.
Professor Amin.
Professor Amin.
Now him say o start here no. Say ka answer be question no de me be maka ese with my records no na mature early bold stands against cash payment.
Yes.
Your friend is
mature that.
Papa also now host to your friends Saturday sports your friends on your Monday. Boy Monday. You know or your Saturday sports highlighting there
Neni Susun very noble
man. Me friend Kweku Bibi. Ono so GBC.
Yeah.
And ono so
Otasa Lacoste.
Me da say.
Yeah.
Ono so ebe ma evidence ewo ho. The evidence ne de pa. Into our YouTube.
The evidence can you recall some of the
he denied all the monies ne and yema omo the bar your friends a committee ne so say enye proper and they didn't see any money like that into no that is the video me person kwame mo abono
was for and whether payment has been made for same.
Thank you so much. Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have been made.
Where former minister?
Yusuf. Okay, so I mean the buy.
Yes, I mean so buy.
Okay.
And now Kweku the mere fini didn't know expo so be only no on my.
I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC.
Kweku for Swasai.
For Swasai me da say.
Yeah.
Yes. Also this 3 million on hunda. Abra you see say you 3 million amount.
Appears before us because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid and how much has been paid. Chairman, I'm grateful.
You see, so it's $3 million. GBC buy on almost $3 million. It was a news item.
Yes.
What you say?
First time I try ni early bold stands against cash payments na ye the momo during that games. International obi frame anopa we ebesi ewia we kosi enwumre a the all my dream pan say all African Games ba there na GBC say they mention thousands the omo boy $500,000.
Yes.
So even before NPP, there was a clear confusion between
exactly
and
confusion
and DG.
Confusion.
That is what I'm saying because
our minds were clear. Said
but you see, said Otua Sikano. Then DG is a Wentia.
Exactly.
And also
meanwhile, DG is so I payments via my entities. Entities need to make us on Tia or Macau. Everyone can one.
They be on no crap on it. Say, as at that time, your kind of say, entity be like it. They were in charge to have done that. What they had received, and so until no he cleared himself totally. And now, you see how can like I remember because say in Shase no skebi echo ne say ye na de koni di ho and no kire say GBC near den and so skebi amusa and sign contract bi asa and ebe pm say report we kire me say na edi kan say abenya be maka ye na o say den enye 1000 cedis enye 300 cedis na odi sika kra somo obi e wo fichire kra ye say tro so gi say no wa tro na obi bisia ofie kra po a so tron and yes wako print ya type bibia o pen o de becho me first car me to the automa me madam for your friend Henry no you more really good ni ha right o de throw paper I tell say matoka o o sa bre no so 13 million e da me wodo pum sisi a enja se me na o ne make am say Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, an institution like that. Now over coffee the security gate in your paper or what called GBC da? GBC. When you say entrance or no, so come more cheat TV now the go inside. What did I make an answer?
Yes,
me say security man, yes, me bullet in jail, I'm looking down on them. Now security crap paper. A home paper power, and so try your go strano. Now young co enter trasa, and some could do DG ho, our ma contract, our over 500,000, or bobo, we say in euros and dollars. Now I just said there's no paperwork covering such contracts. Now, I mean, where are we? Where are we? Now, Osanko, you know, look at the start of this matter. Nobody is saying they should start sacking anybody. Well, first action now can on lead ways, you know, he should step aside to protect his own integrity.
Yes, but you see, when you have a great person, he's not.
No, the National Media Commission should ask him to step aside. And offer who are down for GBC or Bekachiro or Maketia. Now, Van na material can me you match him say Jim. Avan the bend the eka. Ghana had the Kudabe. And then me say training of journalism say mesere. E o de obobia na me.
Identify together. In the water.
The BNI is done with, you know, that's questioning Professor.
So I feel I'm a former case in court.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And he has 1 year. Left into Obi Nim Ada. And what we are hearing from the executive arm, little information here, picking say the executive arm also don't want to commit conform mistake where the man will get a chance and go.
Your employer has every right to protect you and also protect themselves by the laws. The same law now actually say me and how yema onye we edwuma no saa emra na so kire se edwuma na wo ye no wo ye bibi etia edwuma na se se bibia ntimi kra enye bibia kra the fact say utimi ye contract ya more than 1,000 Ghana cedis na abre bi mu na homa bi eni hu no o biara onim law ntimi nka kire me say we have to wait for minya na akugande o kan me ne nyadwene why your contract best at 10,000 is not for homa fa one ube kofie. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at a system where I want you to keep your hand away from it. There's no law in the world. I actually say you can apply the money of the state. Say, on buy that boy no ako sikano. The mention say class FM hey. Na mo koto ade no o ko discount accountant ha. On sign bibia. Say o the okoye no. Say ade bi a receipt ni ho a on a certificate. Say the receipt wa una a payment voucher. And now the enemy or NGO edwuma mu no dada no e wo mitirim sesi a jai mo bia me confuse me wa I'll stand by it till I die. What I know you cannot change my mind. What you say I may say in accounting principles I'm not looking down on Class FM but I'm saying say enye GBC o Class FM ha no mo ye mo musika de akoto ade a mo sign bibia aden why what has Ghana done Ghana na aye mo den So
I have this message from senior editor, the Hawk newspaper,
right?
And Onona sent this message. So this one is not coming from me, and he is liable for a text message in here. My duty is to read it on his behalf. And this is what Mr. Charles McCarthy says. On the GBC mess, the National Media Commission is in collusion with the professor. Workers started agitating since 2025.
Thank you.
So this
I told you. There's a power. There's a power. NMC
that one is not in doubt. What you say? Until I make her say NMC for Nankasa.
Even with that one, no. I don't doubt it, but you see, For me, I think I've grown to a certain point. There are some arenas you go and to be like it's personal something. I don't like yes.
No, I appreciate where you are coming from.
Then me, I want to deal with the criminal matter.
Exactly.
NMC na they have their job, and say they don't only appoint, they also disappoint. When they appoint you, they can remove you from the place. There's nowhere in this world that the president, God forbid. Oh yeah, there and Tom Raswa. Do you know he can be impeached?
Oh yeah, of course.
So there's for every place that you are appointed to, there's a process of removing you when you go against it.
Okay, there's a process of impeachment. In the same way, the Director General, signs will processes.
But are you aware that automatically, if it is so grievous, Parliament can take that decision within a split of a moment?
I don't know that law.
No. What I'm saying is that if the country losing hope, not Parliament, no say they are impeaching you now. Process now can go through it, but it's not like it gives you the laxity to stay on for whatever time.
You see, I want to deal with the realities.
No, but the reality is that the ban we are talking about, if you ask him to step aside, you have not infringed on his rights. So for the good of the system, it is actually an option that is used to keep the sanity and the sanctity of the system.
That's why Bobie gave an example.
Yes.
Of a system where President Kufuor tried that. Taking a friend and saying GBC.
That is a sack.
No, with Kufuor issue, he sacked
the person.
But
so
with this issue, we are talking about.
When they ask you to step aside, you are not sacked though.
Meba, I just want to be very careful in this matter and this pronouncement.
Yeah.
Bibi ayebe ano emra e govern no.
Creating special tax court no. You creating special court for treating corruption matters. And Tiwuka eno amino ya adwene o. Ma the baby ameche on say report na ebe pie mu abontene no. E kire say asemi aye kan kakra etwu. Na ho no baby aye ka say National Media Commission no say omo ka chen on tranche no. Sa action e de wotena nche no. And say why your body be out.
I agree.
And no say
who
action
has
been taken
those steps to push media commission.
No, nobody should take that is why I want to correct you. There's the one that you have to go appeal to the president. That's a different matter.
Exactly.
With the board, National Media Commission, it's actually a board itself that appointed the person. So they can take, nobody needs to go and petition to them. It's like the GAR.
And they are refusing to see what you are seeing.
So that is why I have an issue with them to go and call the guy to step aside. So I'm not against the National Media Commission. I'm not against the gentleman. Like you said, abontini baby no, baby a omudi omuni no. Or no abet me aka say, asem we aka actually me sheme into me ko horo mensa answer na maba.
You see, baby, I know you are at a point, but you see, when NMC is refusing to see what you are seeing for them to take an action, say, on step aside for this investigation and all those things.
Okay, but I say, okay.
Ain't you know?
So they are pretending to be sleeping.
Yes, they are pretending to be
sleeping. It's very
sleeping.
difficult to wake such a person up.
Exactly. It's in DM run about to make NMC.
Say, say on die. So I damn pa. Say me pray ni say for best. Oh, me pray 1, 2, 3, 4.
I understand.
But I said that's what that they are.
Exactly.
And they over 90 years.
Must push him to take that action.
Okay.
And the minimum rakra betumi eyusu. I stand to be corrected. Minimum ra ya sheshe so a betumi amomo take that action because the best deal Sabain po episode opamona say a buying cranny NMC baku to take an action. But this is the situation almost say omada. So that is what I'm saying say gidi ya workers no enade no. So oyobi a our conscience and your combo blaster match anko ye. Blaster coach then no say waka. Osman Pem baby entina you understand based on the terms of contract and all those things, you know. Mami Pem baby entina. So if GBC today workers all decide say the whole week ye mejuma host Emma DJ Emma Obia Emma
ya be boy don say bonina actually on bruninti
you understand na say before you nim say ade ne ye enu ti say GBC for a week say ye nkwa adwuma until say ye nya results from sika eye due yen obi akwakodi yes ye ne age abra ye nim ho hwe. I'm telling you NMC will wake up. something must push NMC to wake up.
Something legally radical.
Yes.
Must push. Into 1 week, na GBC will be any security ni will be any ho. Ubi uti exactly. She ubi be a share. Action will come.
They should be angry enough.
Sometimes we are not angry enough. But baby, you do say ano. Me adeba kwa ehame. Anase meka semestre His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The thing you decided to do was brilliant. Every Ghanaian supports it. We
are rather motivating the offender.
You get it. So if Sahar court we ever now start to see a cleaning up, when you go to the ministries and you follow paper trail, I bet you say chronon koso da Ghana. Because the first thing baby says, I did procure and I say, ye budget one yes na ye dia budget. Na budget for approve.
She said, very systematic.
I'm telling you.
You see a bureaucratic system.
Audit.
A very bureaucratic system.
Bureaucratic system.
I got problem, bro. Who's that system here? It's your money fine.
You understand about or the document because say obi the whole day or buy a document back no be and you are confused that they are doing something.
And everything must start from a desk office.
Yeah.
Say adewe ye here ye department. Ye hear this quantity and all those things. It starts from there. Now signatures na approvals are afa papers ni na so ansana call for payment. No be say the other way, how did it happen? Nani party was your friend me professor, your friend me doctor. Me say obi doctor and as a professor. Obu amede mano. Me na who says na pay.
No.
You understand? People on the street have more integrity with these people with titles.
The more almost and the more they become criminals.
Yeah. No, I may say, so we
opportunity now on 5-10 minutes.
Okay. Are you ready? All right. So, it was Public Accounts Committee, right?
Public Accounts
Okay. Thank you so much for the information. Between Sam George and Yusuf and Al Hassan on this.
Paid for at 3 times the market rates. Food bills, nobody can explain. 1 man, 3 companies, 150 million Ghana cedis. A university that was promised and never built, and a WhatsApp voice note that killed the entire legacy. Today, we are taking you inside Ghana's most expensive sporting event, the 13th African Games. The Auditor General has just released his findings, and what's in that report? It's frankly a lot. We are breaking down every major finding. The accommodation, the food, the infrastructure, the one man who seemed to be everywhere at the center of it all, and the legacy promise that died on WhatsApp. Buckle up. I'm Jacqueline Asima Yeboah, and this is Joy News Explains. Let's go back to the beginning because this story doesn't start with a scandal. It starts with a dream. Now, in October 2018, Ghana won the bid to host the 13th African Games. We had 54 African nations representing, thousands of athletes all coming together. And it was Ghana's first time ever hosting the Continental Games. It was supposed to be more than sport. Parliament then approved a $170 million loan from Cal Bank and a $145 million contract with a UK construction company to build the facilities. The promise to Ghanaians was simple. We are not just building stadiums, we are building the future. Then the games happened.
Please rise. His Excellency the President has just arrived and he's flanked by, of course, our members, our ministers, our diplomatic corps, also flanked by the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Musa Faki Mohammed, and the Minister of Youth and Sport, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, also joining His Excellency the President is the chairman of the NDC, Dr. Pedro Assam.
And when the dust settled, the Auditor General was called in. President John Dramani Mahama commissioned the forensic audit by a formal letter and said the feeding bill was 15 million US dollars.
140 plus or 245 million United States dollars, right? And out of these, we got to even know, for instance, key among them was a whooping amount of $15 million, you know, which amounts or works to close to or a bit over 226 million Ghana cedis.
Found over 33 million cedis in unsupported cost components embedded in the catering contract, transport, utilities, staffing, infrastructure, all bundled in with no schedules or build-ups. $15 billion feeding bill. We may never know the truth because nobody kept the receipts. Now, the infrastructure. Parliament approved one construction company, one contract, which was 145 million US dollars. What actually happened? 3 contractors, not one. 50 million US dollars more than Parliament approved. And the flagship promised a 50,000 capacity Olympic stadium at Boteman. It was never built. Only 40 of 100 acres at Boteman were used. The access road, which was estimated at 22 million US dollars, was quietly given to a different contractor outside the game's budget entirely. Then came something called the May Action Plan, a variation order on the Boteman contract that produced a net value loss of 34 million US dollars. Works worth 49 million were removed. Only 15 million came back. And at the Legon Sports Village, a hostel that had just been built was repainted for over $1 million. To repaint a building that was already paid to be painted. Physical inspections found cracked slabs, cold joints in concrete, corrosion, drainage failures. The estimated repairs needed. The reason Ghanaians were told Boteman would never be a white elephant. A legacy subcommittee was set up. They designed the curricula, certificates, programs, degree courses. They planned governance structures. They worked on getting government approval and accreditation. Then the LOC staffed them of funds, suspended preparations, briefly restarted, and then sent a WhatsApp voice message telling them to stop work indefinitely. There was no letter, no formal communication.
At Joy FM, that is where we killed this report from, and we are grateful for that. I mean, it's a national interest something. So wherever we pick a report, we just talk about it. And yes, we call PAC, right? I think we should move on. Okay. Anyway, all right, okay. So that's it. But say you see the end there, you don't have to do with the stadium and those things. But the GBC issue still hangs. Send me a message. Let me check if I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so citizen, good job on GBC. I want to contribute to the program. Okay, so a friend of GBC since 1977. Wow. I think then we will need like 2 hours for my very good friend, so that we can talk about GBC, because but unfortunately a time a call. The kakra mekan say workers no, they should take it easy. Ghana Emrawaha, whichever way a person will deal with the issue be, and it should be civil. Say I'm not sure the GBC Workers Union no Sebita Frache Obipe DJ Nedi. They want it right. Me GBC in Commodity Mejedi. The reason why I'm discussing Professor Amin Al-Hassan, there is some criminality somewhere. We want to know whether indeed he is liable or not. Ena eyomaisika mimi tuya tax. Say Professor Amin Al-Hassan tini baby Amin could discuss na infanya she on Tebiani Mamini, Mesmen Tebiani Manini. I don't even know his family. He doesn't know my family. He'll be out to the baby. But so far as Ube saw on my office moody. I
like that one.
Yeah. Okay, funny resignation letter.
Coach ya say me the pass me ya kuganaka. Say ye ni no.
Yeah.
Now I know very well say it is because of his cultural background. If you free bano and koye na enungwase ba obesi form. Na nye no nko ye nkohwehwe de nti a o si form yi nso.
Okay, so maybe
ya man kwan ema the juma no no,
so maybe I think portions of the resignation will give us a fair idea. Okay. So let's get into it. Quick one. So we have Carlos Queiroz ne Facebook post or de my bye, and I read to Ghana. Football, like life, teaches us one timeless lesson: you either win or you learn. I live this journey with pride in what we achieved, but also with the healthy dissatisfaction, underline, healthy dissatisfaction of those who always wanted more. Reaching a higher level should never be the destination. It should be the beginning of even greater ambitions. The future of the Black Stars will not be built only on the pitch. Black Stars' success must start off the field by creating the best possible environment to prepare, protect, and develop Ghana's extraordinary football talent. To my president and board, thank you so much for the opportunity to serve the Ghana national football team. It was an honor and privilege to serve the country and the Black Stars. To my players and staff, my deepest gratitude for your courage, commitment, and unwavering dedication to the team. To the fans, we cannot claim complete sporting satisfaction, but we can proudly say that we honored the colors of Ghana and restored respect and credibility to the Black Stars on football's greatest stage. Thank you, Ghana. The journey starts now to the future. All right. So, but he touched on something, or say, the future of the Black Stars, and that is, I think, paragraph 2. The future of the Black Stars will not be built only on the pitch. Black Stars' success must start off the field by creating the best possible environment to prepare, protect, and develop Ghana's extraordinary football talent. Building best possible environment so that they can prepare the team.
Okay.
Protect what they have built, that environment, and use that environment to develop the talent we have. Okay. Now, let me just put some figures out. It's very interesting.
Have you realized we are was about management?
Yes, management.
So when him say crow your resources, you go diamond, oil, BBR, our systems are so poor, so you are not getting the best out of it.
So you see, that is why really?
We are poor managers indeed.
February 28th, 2024. I say Office of the Director General, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. To the Minister for Youth and Sports, request for approval of contracts and invoice for 13th African Games. Now, one Mr. Bano receive letter no. Yes, 28th February. 2 million something quality media production. 1 million. The production room. Almost 57,000. Silicon production, almost 175,000.
Yes. So we are there. Say somebody fought it.
Okay, GBC 24-hour games channel support. Supporting cry $105,000. Positive communication for the $20,000. Inti Mr. Bano no ewo ho a because the reason why he says say attach copies into because Udbabek Diska contract only sound crofo way no say attach it.
I say no, proceed.
Proceed. Anyway, into na mo say coach ni say.